Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. So I have a special word for you all this morning. It's a warning from God this morning. I'm going to be reading from Numbers 20 verse 8 and 10 through 12, the AMP version. Take the rod, and you and your brother Aaron assemble the congregation and speak to the rock in front of them, so that it will pour out its waters. In this way you shall bring for water for them out of the rock, and let their livestock drink fresh water. And Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly before the rock. Moses said to them, "Listen, now you rebels, must we bring you water out of this rock?" Then Moses raised his hand in anger, and with his rod he struck the rock twice, instead of speaking to the rock as the Lord commanded. And the water poured out abundantly, and the congregation and their livestock drank fresh water. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Because you have not believed, trusted me to treat me as holy in the sight of the sons of Israel, you therefore shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them." So, on today, the word of the Lord is, heed my instructions. God is tired of the bickering, complaining, disobedience, the sins that continue to take place among you, among the people, among the world. It is sickening to him. God is a merciful and gracious God, but he said, "I will punish those who are guilty. I do not forget the guilt. I will punish not only them, but their children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and great great grandchildren. I am a jealous God, and my people continue to rage me. They continue to anger me by worshiping other gods, idols, fornicating, sexual immorality, adultery, murder. Just a life full of detestable things. No matter how many miracles, no matter how many signs, no matter how many wonders I do among you, you continue to complain, bicker, moan, and groan. You continue to rebel against my words, against my people, against my laws, against my commands, and my instructions. I tell you to do one thing and you do another, because you don't trust that I am who I say I am, and I will do what I say I will do. You treat me with utter disrespect when I have been nothing but gracious to you, kind to you, merciful to you. Even when I was ready to destroy you and everything that came along with you, I listened to your pleas and I changed my mind. I gave you an abundance of food, water, and clothing. I provided your every need. God wants you to know that just like Moses, he gave Moses specific instructions, because of Moses was frustrated with the people of Israel. He was frustrated with the Israelites, that his anger rose. He was tired of going before God, pleading for people who were ungrateful. People who continued to walk in disobedience, continued to not believe what God had done for them, what God had told them, how God had brought them out of slavery. Moses' anger rose up. His frustration rose up with the people. And because of that, he was disobedient to the instructions that God had given him, to the specific instructions that God had given him. He let his frustrations get in the way of being disobedient to what God had told him to do. God gave him detailed instructions, specific instructions to speak to the rock. But Moses took it into his own hands and did it the way that he chose to do it, because out of frustration and anger, it caused him to make an irrational decision. And God is tired on today. He's tired. He's been patient enough. He's been patient enough with us. by giving specific instructions on what it is that he wants you to do. He's been crying out. He's been pleading with you on what it is that he wants you to do in order for his hand to turn, in order for his anger to turn, in order for his rage to turn back. That's why this plague is taking place. That's why this virus is taking place. Because he wants you to hear him. He wants you to hear him today, to turn back from your evil and wicked ways, to seek his face, to seek repentance, to seek forgiveness for the sins that you are committing, for the detestable things that you are doing, for the abominations that are taking place. God wants you to know today that he's tired of you walking in disobedience. He's tired of you rebelling against him and his word and his commands and the laws that he has set in place. He's tired. He's grown impatient. And he's ready. He's ready. This is only the beginning if you don't turn back, if you do not seek his face. My spirit is crying out. When I was reading this word, my spirit was crying out because God was, oh my God, it's just so heavy because God is tired. God is tired. He's tired. He don't want the frustrations of what is taking place right now to cause you to make an irrational decision that cause you to be disobedient to the instructions that he has given you on today. He wants me, and although they were disobedience and Moses was disobedience, God cannot lie. God sticks to his promise. He sticks to his word because you see in his word that he still did what he said that he was going to do. The abundance of water still flowed from that rock. Even though Moses didn't do it how he told him to do it, it still took place because God is a man that he shall not lie, nor the son of man that he shall repent. His word cannot come back to him void because that would make God a liar. That would make him an imposter. And God is none of those things. On today, God is just who he said he is. The great I am. The holy God. The miracle worker. The wonder working God. The God who never goes back on his promise. The God who never forgets his covenant with you. He is just that. So God wanted me to leave you with these questions on today. Who and what have you allowed to frustrate and anger you to the point you disobey his instructions? And what command has he given you that you have not followed? So I pray, and I want you to know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for our world. I'm praying for our nation. I'm praying for these people. I'm praying for our families. I'm praying for people to hear his word and turn back to him. Because God is a forgiving God. He's a merciful God. He's a gracious God. But he's tired. He's tired. And he wants you to know that today. He's tired. And he wants you to hear him on today. So I pray that you dwell on these questions. I pray that you dwell on these questions and it helps you to examine your lives and where you went wrong and what it is you need to do moving forward. And to seek him for forgiveness of your hidden sins. So I pray that this word blesses you. And I want you to know that God, although he's tired and he's grown impatient, that he's still a merciful, forgiving, loving, and caring God. And he loves you. He loves you to the point that he wants to see everybody come to repentance. That he don't want to see anyone perish. So know on today that I love you and God loves you. And I'm praying for you all. Have a blessed day.